Yo, what is up? It's that time, it's that moment. It's Righteous with another video. All right, so it's been a while since I've done a video, and I wanted to catch you guys up with what's been going on with me. So basically, I've been working a job that has had me on call for a while. Um, every now and then I would get full-time hours. Sometimes I would do overtime, and then there was times that I had to work a second job in order to, you know, fulfill what's needed for the bills and whatnot. But now, there's going to be a moment here where there's a chance where I could be on a schedule, and that means I could possibly give more time to YouTube. So, that's why I'm making this video. I wanted to announce that to you guys, and I wanted to let you guys know that I've missed talking about sports, um, wrestling, um, Stranger Things, movies, any type of TV shows, things to get excited about, like video games and whatnot. Lately, the video game that I have been playing is Dunk City Dynasty, and it's on the phone. I really like that game, and I think you guys should try it. I highly, highly suggest that you try it out if you like basketball or if you played NBA 2K. It's good if you're on the go. I know some of you guys have PlayStation 5 or Xbox. So for you, you probably think, I'm not going to be playing no mobile game. There's no point. But if you're on the go and you like basketball and you like playing with characters that are like the NBA players of today, then you would like Dunk City Dynasty. I'm thinking about making a channel just for that, just so I could probably like do like some tutorials for people that have never played. So if you've never played it and you're counting on me to try to help you and introduce the game to you, then come and check it out. I'm gonna start leaving links in my videos to segue you guys to those pages and whatnot. And if I happen to make it, please subscribe. Um, on to the next subject. Um, I am also planning on other things, but this is all in the works. If you guys are interested in helping me, or if you want to like be a co-host or something, hit me up, text me. I'm not opposed to that idea, and I do want to talk more about boxing. That's my number one sport that I want to talk about. I love boxing. I love anything that has to do with boxing. I don't want to always talk about the drama and all that stuff, but lately that's what's been going on. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I'm of the old school. You know that I'm not a young buck like that, and you know that I'm always going to try to keep it real. I come from an era where boxers would fight at least 3 to 4 times a year at the least. Now boxers are fighting sometimes one time a year, and sometimes none. You know, I have a lot of respect for boxers. I know that the job is hard, and I know that the business gets in the middle of it. And it's not that they always don't want to fight. It's just that that's the way that the game is set up now. And I'm not gonna say that I think UFC is winning, but I do feel like they have more things to entertain when it comes to boxing. I'm saying when it comes to comparison, the presentation is just better on the UFC side. But when boxing finally has a setup for everybody to like and watch, they outdo themselves. But it just takes too long to process everything and for everybody to get happy and want to watch it again. And I feel like sometimes that is what causes people to think it's rigged, because they're not watching it enough. So they feel like it's controlled and whatnot. I hope I'm not rambling, but yeah, man. I really don't like when boxing has all those things going on. Excuse me. But either way, I do want to talk more about boxing. Um, the one subject I do want to talk about is the Jake Paul and Joshua fight. We all know what happened with that, but I do want to shout out Anthony Joshua. Um, that's so crazy what happened to him, man. I feel so bad about him. I don't know if you guys know. You probably saw it. It was all over social media. And it's probably like a week or two old kind of news and whatnot. But I think that that's so messed up. And I'm glad that he's training again. And I did want to touch on that topic. lightly. You feel me? I'm gonna be talking about a bunch of different subjects because I'm just trying to get my foot back in the game when it comes to YouTube. But yeah, I really feel bad about Anthony Joshua. I hope that he can get better. If you guys are an Anthony Joshua fan, leave a comment in the chat, and let's keep talking about this man because there's so many fights that are like leading up, and people are still talking about. There's been rumors of Alexander Usyk fighting Deontay Wilder. I think that that would be a good fight. Um, Even though I feel like Wilder is not even close to what it used to be, and sometimes when I see him in like interviews and stuff like that, he doesn't even look as muscular as he was. Not to say that I could do what he's doing. I just feel like his passion is gone, and he's gone through a lot of life struggles. I've heard the stories and whatnot. But if he was to get the fight and at least challenge himself to try and beat Alexander Usyk, that could have been a ultimate dream match right there. And if he could turn back the hands of time, it's possible that that fight could be a very a very good fight. Now, does he have the skill to beat Alexander Usyk? I don't think so. I think that Usyk is just trying to cover his bases when it comes to his career path because he's done, but it's because there's no more challenges. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would just leave just to leave. He loves boxing. He loves it. I've seen many stories going on out there though. I've seen some stories about you know, Rolly possibly fighting Manny Pacquiao. There was rumors of that. Then there was a rumor of Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao coming into the field of rumors and stuff like that. Um, and then there was some rumor that came out that Floyd Mayweather was going broke. I don't know if you heard about that. Comment in the chat if you heard about that, but they were saying that too. Then all of a sudden, um, the Rolly and Pacquiao thing started coming back into play again. So I feel like that's interesting. I want to see Pacquiao fight again, but there's a lot of people that is just like, come on, it's just Pacquiao. Pacquiao's gonna be Pacquiao. But a lot of people don't get up for him anymore. I do. I'm always gonna respect Pacquiao. I feel like he's one of the goats, one of the greatest welterweights to ever live. The man is a walking legend, one of one. He should be respected for what he's done for the game and what he's brought to the game. He's super talented, and I will never ever say I don't want to watch a Pacquiao fight. I'm sorry, that's just me. Um, but yeah, I really feel like that would be a big challenge for Rolly, and Rolly has impressed me. He's definitely changed his way of thinking. He doesn't goof around as much anymore. I think he still has a sense of humor, but I respect a lot of what he's done. He's created his own path, and he seems like he found his fighting style, and he respects the game a lot more. So I want to see him fight, even if it's not Pacquiao. I'm really excited to watch another Rolly fight. And to go into uh something that is been in the news, and I hate to uh talk bad on this dude, man, but he keeps coming up in the news, and then I have to like bring up his name, and it's always in a negative way, and I kind of have to say he's shooting himself in the foot because now there's allegations or some kind of thing that's going on that he supposedly put hands on a person. I don't want to say who, I don't want to say what happened because I don't know all the details. I keep reading things that are very negative. And, putting your hands on people like this, man, that are innocent, because at the end of the day, he's an athlete, right? He's an athlete. But who knows what's going on with that? I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but it just keeps happening. So I heard that there's a chance that he might have to, give himself up, and then he's gonna have to do some time because I guess it's like a serious matter because there's a post out there that I saw or an article you might want to go and check out that says that he's been stripped of the WBA. Now, I think the WBA has been very, very lenient with Gervonta since the beginning of his career. The hardcores fans know this. They know that some of the belts that he's held in the past were not even, you know, world titles. The last time he had a legit world title, I believe, was some time back. You know what? I can't even give you a perfect like time frame because he's been doing this for a while. I know that when he had the IBF though, that was like a serious thing, and I think he had two straps with him. But as soon as he had that, it was like the pressure was on him to try and fight, these guys that are really good. It would have been really fire to see him versus Lomachenko or any of these guys that just came and went. He could have fought Tiafimo, who's fighting Shakur. He could have fought Shakur. Um, he could have fought Devin Haney. He could have fought Ryan on a rematch. And he could have fought Rolly on a rematch, you know what I'm saying? But this is what happens when your head is not in the game and you let people dictate your career. I feel like some of these guys, they don't know what they want. And, they get enticed by the money and then all of a sudden they're wasting time. There's been rumors as well of the Charlo brothers arguing online. I saw that the Vargas brothers were actually getting into an altercation in the hotel. It's like, what is happening? Is there any fighting being set up? Is there any boxing, actual boxing in a ring happening? I would like to see it. What's going on? So, um, yeah, I've been kind of out of the loop when it comes to actual like fights because these fights aren't big enough for me to follow and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try to get back into it. Shout out to all my peoples that've been holding it down for the boxing community. The whites, why TBC or why the YouTube boxing community? Yeah, that's what we call it, the white TBC. Yeah. Um, I've been a part of that for years, but it's kind of slowed down for me. I used to be all up in the news and stuff like that. I'm trying to find out more again. But we're back. We're back at it again, and let's see. Let's see what we could come up with if we could possibly put together a fight, us as fans, because that used to be the vibe. That used to be the thing. We used to try our best to convince these promoters to make these fights. And I don't see it happening anymore. I barely see people getting excited anymore. I saw talks about like Tyson Fury trying to come back or something like that. I don't know. But there's always just rumors. And, at the end of the day, it would be fire to see the old guys fight again. But still, bro, where are the young guns that want to make a legacy from this? You know what I'm saying? Look at how early Terrence Crawford just left. You don't think that leaves an example to all the other boxers? If this keeps happening, all the other boxers are just going to start retiring earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier because people are not being careful with how they fight. They're not really gym rats like that. They just want to make the money and then bounce. You feel me? There's like a selective few of guys that are like really into it. Some of them are across the sea. They're not even in this country, bro. They're like really all about it and they're not even here. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the people that actually sweat and bleed for this shit. I got some friends in New York, Jersey that they do it and they're like in a small club or something like that. And I guess not too many people are watching because it's not on TV and stuff like that. But I want to give a shout out to the guys that actually care about themselves and their fellow boxers that actually do this every day because they really want to make something out of themselves for this. They really care about it. But when it comes to retiring and stuff like that, people are going to start doing it earlier if these fights are never happening. No one's challenging themselves. You feel me? So I mean that to say the big names. You feel me? Not everybody that's like trying to come up. Because if you're trying to come up, I'm always going to salute you. I know that you're working hard and I know that you care about, the boxing game and whatnot. So let me see if I have more for you guys, more topics. So um I did notice a few things. I know that there's an all-star game popping up. I've been trying to cover as much as I could, but it's been so hard to even get in front of um the camera like this. So let me segue into the all-star starting team. Um, so for the West, it's going to be SGA, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Joker, and Wemby versus Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brown, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So from the looks of it, it seems like the East Coast teams is more on the defensive side. You have a very athletic team on both ends. I feel like there's a lack of defense again on the West Coast side, but there's a lot more scoring when it comes to the West Coast. You got Curry, you got Luca, you got SGA, you got Wemby. Joker's gonna do his thing. So that should be a fun game. I heard that they were doing a new system when it comes to scoring, and I'm excited to see it. I heard good things about Maxi. I haven't seen a lot of his games, but I do like what I see from the highlights and whatnot. I know Jalen Brown's been holding it down for the Celtics. The record is looking good. I think they got like a rookie or somebody that came off the bench or something that is looking explosive or is can play defense or something like that. Because I know that there was this bald dude or whatever from the Celtics. I don't even know his name, but he's been holding it down, helping Jalen Brown for the Celtics. And Cade Cunningham, people have been talking about him forever, and that team has been holding it down. If I'm not mistaken, they're top 5 in the Eastern side, in the Eastern, um, in the East side or whatever. And they look like they've been a playoff team for a while. I think since last year or something like that, they've been buzzing. Giannis, man, I'm a Giannis fan, bro. But I think he's gonna be excited to play this game and have some actual like fierce competitors next to him that actually want to play because he's been playing like to the standard of what's around him, and I feel like he's getting exhausted by just having to play every day with the same players and the same system and all that stuff. I feel like they should have never fired that coach that they won a championship with. They basically fired the guy that got him to a championship and got Giannis where he needed to go. Literally a year later, they let go of Drew Holiday and his coach, and it's too much change. And then they're freaking, giving everything to Giannis. Like there's no challenge there. The culture there is just bad. But whatever. Yeah. Jalen Brunson, good player, good point guard. He's gonna hold himself down. He's already played these guys before. He's ex ex co-worker of Luka Doncic, so that should be exciting. I don't feel like there's a lot of defense. Again, I don't see a lot of defense on the West Coast side. SGA, I like a lot, man. He's another good player. He's one of my favorites right now. And then Wemby, another good player. He's very hard to guard. Very, very. He has a tough side to him. Very aggressive, and I'm glad that he's still playing. I hope that he becomes a legend in the league, and I hope he continues to prosper and people keeps watching him because he's a big talent over there. They have a lot of good players actually. They have a good system over there. But yeah, the Thunder is holding it down right now, I will say. But are you gonna watch? That's the question I should ask. Are you gonna watch? So let's get back into some more things here when it comes to basketball. What do you guys think about Jimmy Butler being out for the season with a torn ACL? So, in my opinion, I think Jimmy Butler is a really good player. He's kind of like a really defensive mind, you know what I'm saying? And it sucks to see him go down like this. I know that he'll come back, but it'll probably be to finish out his career. It's sad to see him go down like that, but He's been playing for a while, and he's a tiger, man. He can really play. It just sucks to see him go out like that. So I think for the Warriors, they're gonna have to start segueing, man. I don't know how they're gonna do this. There was talks about bringing Klay Thompson back to the team and blah 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 and stuff like that. But how are you gonna make any trades now with Butler being out? Because they were gonna package up Kaminga, I think, and try to bring in Klay Thompson or something like that in a package deal. But now with this happening, there's no way you can move Butler while he's hurt. This is insane. So you're gonna have to put in Kaminga, which is something that they all feared because for some reason they don't want to put in Kaminga. I guess he's not a system guy. That's what they're saying, but still, the guy has raw talent, bro. Like he can really play. You know what I'm saying? Like just let him play. Let him play. He's young. He doesn't need a system right now. He needs to play. He needs to be himself, like Anthony Edwards, like John Morant, like Luca. You know what I'm saying? Let them just play. Let them be themselves. So that's how I feel about that situation. If you're gonna put in Kaminga, just let him rock. I'm sorry. The whole thing about, chasing a ring and whatever with this whole stuff with like it's the Steph Curry system and whatnot. Nah, man. Some of that has to start taking a back seat. I'm sorry. Especially if you don't see it working out, because you got a lot of guys that are getting older now. Like Draymond Green is not who he used to be. He can't score like that anymore. He got a lot of defensive side to him still, but he can't score like that. So what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And then you got Steph Curry, who is still trying to ball out, but they don't got the movement. And again, no Klay Thompson. You got nobody like that on that team that's like a Klay Thompson, at least what he used to be. So now what? Then Steve Kerr's going to retire next year? It's looking crazy. Donovan Mitchell. What do you guys think about Donovan Mitchell? I think he's a class act of a player. I see that, in my opinion, that's another guy that should have been a Knick. Kind of like Al Horford. I always thought Al Horford should have been a Knick, in my opinion. But Donovan Mitchell, man, what a talent. He reminds me of like D Wade, like a young Chris Paul, that kind of deal, man. Man, respect for his game. He can really play. He can really ball out. And I don't know if he's on the Eastern team. He should be, man, because he's been averaging some good stuff. 29 points. He's sixth in the league for 29 points. He's getting at least very close to 5 rebounds, which is very difficult for his size. He's averaging close to 6 assists, and he's almost 50% from the field goal. Unbelievable. Great talent. I think he's got the world right there for his taking. So if he can continue to do what he's doing, you never know. It's possible. We had Hallie from the Pacers. We saw him bring his team all the way to the finals. Obviously, he got hurt, but that's a glory that some players dream for. You know what I'm saying? They deserve to get that kind of look and to be on the big stage. Because he's playing for Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to always get the attention that they need. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should get some more of a recognition. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. And I don't have that much more subjects to talk about. I do want to talk about the Mets and the Dodgers, and I know that there's some things going on with some misappropriation or some kind of monies. I don't know. Some kind of monies is being distributed incorrectly, or something's going on with the Dodgers. People are speculating. I don't know if it's a Yankee fan thing or whatever, but there was some guys telling me that I should touch on that topic. I'm gonna try to leave that for the next video. But let me know what you guys want to talk about. If there's any topic at all that you want to talk about, comment below. We can continue this, and I'm gonna try to wrap this up so like that you guys know that next week I'm gonna hit you guys with another one, and I'll be lock and loaded. Just giving you a heads up. Stay subscribed, stay liking and commenting and sharing. Much love to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.